Virgo, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. Now, keep in mind that these are general readings. Oh, the Nine of Swords just popped out for you. Let's see if that comes back. That must mean that there's something heavy on your mind right now, Virgo. Anyway, what I was saying was keep in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements to get a full picture. Okay, Virgo, it appears the cards are ready to get started. So let's get started and see what the energy is around the week ahead for you, Virgo. Let's see if that Nine of Swords returns. What's on your mind this week? Oh, there's a relationship heavy on your mind this week. There's the Two of Cups. We see the Five of Cups. Okay, so you're in separation from someone and you want to, it's almost like you want to communicate with them, but you're not sure what to say or if they will receive your communication. I feel like there is something that you're hoping will reunite. With this Two of Cups, you're wanting to see eye to eye with someone, but you're finding that the communication is difficult. Communication is very difficult here, and there is a resistance to sort of let go of this. You really want to see this reunite. What's on the bottom of the deck is the Fool in reverse. So yeah, it's like you really want to have a new start with someone, but you're not sure if that's going to be possible. You're not sure how to communicate or to convince. I feel like you're almost trying to convince someone that you need to sort of stay together or reunite or have a new start. Let's keep going here. Very interesting for you, Virgo. Oh, okay. We've got the Ace of Rods in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse. Okay, Virgo. Now, you know I like to call it as I see it. We have the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck. What this spread is telling me right now is that you're wanting to make up with someone. There's something here like that feels like a breakup, and you want a reunification. You want this back. There feels like there's a special person in your life. It might be a friend, it might be romantic, and it feels like there was a breakup in the past, and you're wanting a reunion with this person. You want them back in your life, and it's the communication is difficult. You're not sure how to convince them. That's the thing, is that it's not just straightforward communication. This is a moment where you're trying to get away with something, or you feel they're trying to get away and you're wanting to convince them to stay. There is an element here, Virgo, where it feels like, I'm going to just call it as I see it. It feels a little manipulative here. Someone's energy feels manipulative here. Someone is trying to recover and get over this, and someone is trying to bring someone back. But in doing so, in a way that it's almost, it feels a little manipulative. It feels a little manipulative. And seeing the Ace of Rods in reverse says to me that it's also, it's not above board. It almost feels a little, it just feels sneaky. It feels a little underhanded, and it feels a little bit like someone is refusing this. Someone is a thumbs down here, and I think you know that. And so in order to get them back on side, it's like you've started to use your abilities to be flexible and adaptable in a way where you're being strategic in your conversation to try to get this person back. Now, you may have really good reasons for this. You may feel like this person didn't understand something. You may feel like they're trying to stay away from you for some reason, that you're trying to convince them to come back. And so you may have really good reasons for this, but it's interesting seeing the Four of Swords here on the bottom of the deck shows me that you might need to sort of put your mind at rest when it comes to this situation so that you can recover from this separation. I'm going to jump right into clarifying because this feels like quite the tale here that we've just uncovered. And remember, we saw that Nine of Swords when I was shuffling at the very beginning, and it came out in reverse, which tells me that there's a lot of fear about this outcome. You have a lot of fear that this person is never going to come back to you. And I feel like we've been seeing this theme in your readings for a little while here, Virgo. There's the Magician upright. So it's like you realize that you have all the tools to bring this back into unity. And there's the Two of Cups. You really love this person and you want to make up with them. You realize you have all the tools to do this. And there's the Two of Cups again. So you really want to make up with someone. You really want to make up with them. You don't want this to be over. And there's the King of Swords again in reverse. So it's almost like you're willing to use any strategy you can, even if it's a little manipulative, because you don't want this person to, it almost feels like they have the wrong idea. You know what I mean? And you're willing to do anything right now to show them that they had it, they misunderstood something. And it does feel a little bit manipulative because I feel like you're not meeting them where they are. You're trying to tell them that what they're feeling and what they believe is right is not right, that they have it wrong. They have the situation wrong in their mind, and that's why they've left. And it's almost like you're trying to get them back at any cost, because in your mind they've misunderstood something. And there's wow, there is that Four of Swords again. You're really being guided to let this rest, let this sit. You know, instead of going in trying to sort of be very strategic and, again, almost a little manipulative in terms of how you're trying to shift the situation into what you believe is true, you're not taking into account how they feel about this. And I think they were devastated. I think that it was hard for them to separate from you as well. When I see that Five of Cups, they love you just as much as you love them, but it's almost like they feel they just can't go on now that the way that they see this situation that separated you is very different than the way you see it. And they might be in recovery right now and not willing to chat. This is going to be very transformative though. And I feel like there is a moment here of realization that's very powerful moving towards both of you. And there's the King of Cups now, guiding you to stay out of the drama and to sort of put this to rest. I feel like the guidance in this reading is very specific to letting things be. Not going after something at all, at any cost. You have the tools. You know how to change things. You know how to bring in a different energy when it comes to this person and when it comes to this relationship. It's almost like you have their remote. You know how to adjust the picture when it comes to this person. You have an incredible amount of influence over this person. And I feel like you're trying to exercise that influence, and they're just not responding the way that they usually do. And so there's a part of you that is thinking about sort of using strategies to manipulate the situation so that they will not leave you. But it's almost like you have to just let this happen and sort of adopt sort of a more grounded energy that's able to sort of not get sucked into the drama of this. This is fascinating. This reading is really, really interesting to me because we're seeing the same cards come through on both rows. I'm almost tempted actually to grab a third tarot deck here just to see if we'll get more guidance or the same story will come through even more again. Now we're seeing the Queen of Wands here. So that does tell me that you do have the ability to work this person. You know how to push their buttons You really know how to push their buttons. You know how to influence this person. You have a lot of influence over this person, actually. And they're not responding the way they usually do. There's the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. So this is a big choice for you and them. This is a big moment of choice for both of you. Will you come back to each other or not? You have a lot of influence over this person, but for some reason it's not having the same effect that it used to. They've been hurt by something that you feel was a misunderstanding, and there's the Lovers shuffling itself out of the bottom of the deck. This is fascinating reading, Virgo. You really love this person, and you can't envision a future without them, and yet you might have to. There's the Hierophant coming out. Sorry, he fell on the floor. So the Hierophant here is guiding you also to sort of not use your powers to manipulate. I feel like you can manipulate this person if you want to. And I don't know how it will go if you keep on that track. But from what I'm seeing so far, you do have the ability to work this person who's now trying to avoid you a little bit. I think that you're noticing that your effects on this person are not like they used to be. There is something here. For some of you, this may have been a marriage. For some of you, this was like a soulmate connection, or it felt like a divine counterpart connection when I look at the mix of cards coming through now. And you don't want to let this person go. It almost feels like you'll do anything to keep them, like you'll at any cost. And there's the Knight of Swords coming out in reverse now to say, oh, cool your jets. This person is not open to receiving right now with that Ace of Wands in reverse. And the Four of Swords in upright position says that they're trying to recover from this situation. And if you come in now really fast and furious, not literally furious, but like with a lot of energy moving towards them to try to get them to see things differently, that's not going to work out in your best outcome. I feel like that could drive them away. That could drive them away because they are not feeling positive about this situation right now. Right now, they're feeling very pessimistic about the outcome of you two reuniting. They have a lot of hesitation about this. And so if you come in really fast and gung, all guns blazing here with your Queen of Wands and your Knight of Swords, it might not go the way you think. They could move further away from you. And there's the Seven of Cups coming out in reverse on the Death card. So it's almost like you have to proceed. You have a lot of fear about the options that lay ahead. And so it's almost like you have to approach this situation not knowing how it's going to turn out in the end, but you're blocked a little bit by fear. You are afraid of the outcome that this person is transforming and growing in a direction that doesn't include you. And that is an outcome that you're feeling very defensive and guarded about that outcome. And it's almost like you're willing to do whatever it takes to avoid that from happening. But Virgo, that might be exactly what needs to happen for both of you to evolve in the next timeline ahead, or the next chapter ahead. You have a choice here, though. We see it in the Lovers. We see it in the Seven of Cups. We see it in the Seven of Swords. Will you use the sort of ability you have to sort of push this person's buttons, or are you going to let them come to you ultimately and trust that this is happening according to divine order right now? So using your influence over this person isn't necessarily going to lead you to the outcome you desire, even though it may seem that way in your mind right now. You might be thinking, no, I know how to get them back. I know exactly how to get them back, and I'm going to keep using my influence over them until they break. But I don't think this person is going to break. They're different. They've changed. This person has changed in the time since whatever happened between you happened, and now this person is not the same. They may not be as easily influenced by you anymore. Wow, what a fascinating reading. It was like watching a movie unfold in my mind. That was really fascinating. Yeah, you're looking around trying to understand how to sort of win here. The best way to win for you is to rise above this drama and put your mind at rest and trust that, you know, if this person is and you are meant to be back with each other, then you'll find your way back to each other naturally. But by force and by influence, that's not going to be the recommendation here. Surrender your attachment, right, to results. You're very attached to a certain outcome here. It says here, the formula for success is to do all you can do to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. Exactly. I mean, that's essentially what we're seeing here, except we've got a bit more detail about the other person. They have changed. You're not easily influencing them anymore. You're not able to influence this outcome anymore. You've done everything you can to make it happen. Now you must let it go. You must surrender now and see what the outcome will be. The bottom of the deck is surrender to trust. You must just trust now that all is going to be as it should be according to whatever prearranged soul contract you have with this person. And I feel like you do. You have a soul contract. There is a contract between you and this person. And your ego can't let this person go. You might need to. Surrender to trust says, trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. I feel like that's what this other person is feeling as well, is that they're no longer responding to you in the same way. They're not being swayed by you. Interesting. I just looked back at the bottom and now we see surrender your desire to control people. Being overly controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goal, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Virgo, you know, if you're still watching, and I hope you are, that if this made sense for you, then this was your reading, because there's something here that you're not willing to let go of, but there's nothing else you can do here anymore. You may lose this person because you're not giving it the breathing room it needs. You're so attached to the outcome. I think it's a very strong contract we're working here with. There's a lot of emotion here. You've got a lot of love here. You love this person. You want them back, but you might sabotage it if you pursue them too much, or if you use your influence to try to be strategic too much. You might literally scare them away. So it might be best to back off and let them come to you now that you've done everything you can. What a powerful reading, Virgo. Thank you so much for joining me today for this reading. And if it's resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. If you would like a personal reading, you can find that information in the description below. And as always, I'm sending you so much love and light, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care, my friends.